Here's the harsh reality nobody wants to admit. Most college students are one unexpected expense away from financial disaster. Welcome to adulthood, college freshmen. You've just inherited something that might feel more like a curse than a blessing. Complete control over your financial destiny. While your high school friends are still asking their parents for gas money, you're suddenly juggling student loans that could buy a luxury car, credit card offers flooding your mailbox, and the terrifying realization that ramen noodles might become a food group. But here's where it gets interesting and slightly controversial. The financial habits you develop during these 4 years won't just determine whether you can afford pizza on Friday nights. They'll literally shape the next decade of your adult life, possibly determining when or if you can buy a house, start a family, or pursue that dream job that pays peanuts but feeds your soul. Yaneli Espinal, a respected financial educator and author of Mind Your Money, puts it bluntly, without a solid plan, your college financial experience will be nothing short of chaos. She spent years helping students navigate these treacherous waters, and her advice might challenge some popular assumptions about college spending. Let's dive into the strategies that separate financially savvy students from those who graduate drowning in unnecessary debt. The one student loan rule that could save your future, but most students ignore it. Here's a rule that might make you reconsider that expensive dream school. Your total student debt upon graduation should never exceed what you expect to earn in your first year out of college. This isn't just conservative advice, it's financial survival 101. Think about it this way. If you're studying to become a teacher with an expected starting salary of $35,000, borrowing $80,000 for your degree isn't just unwise, it's setting yourself up for decades of financial stress. But here's what most students don't realize. You can actually research realistic salary expectations before you sign those loan documents. The Bureau of Labor Statistics Occupational Outlook Handbook becomes your best friend here. Search for your intended career and pay close attention to entry-level positions, not the median salaries that often represent workers with years of experience. This reality check might sting, but it's better to adjust your expectations now than face crushing disappointment later. And this is the part most people miss. Your first job out of college will likely pay significantly less than those attractive median salary figures you see online. Factor this into your borrowing decisions because there's no undo button on student loans. Why loud budgeting might be your secret weapon, even though it feels awkward. Here's a concept that might make you uncomfortable at first. Talking openly about your money struggles with your peers. Espinal calls this loud budgeting, and it flies in the face of traditional advice about keeping financial matters private. Picture this scenario. You're stressed about affording textbooks next semester, or you're confused about how your new student credit card actually works. Your instinct might be to suffer in silence, but that's exactly the wrong approach. The truth is, that seemingly confident student down the hall is probably wrestling with identical financial concerns. When you open up about money challenges with your roommates, friends, and even family members, something magical happens. Not only do you feel less isolated and ashamed, but you often discover creative solutions you never would have found alone. Maybe your floor decides to start a group savings challenge, or perhaps your honesty motivates friends to share scholarship opportunities they've discovered. But here's where it gets controversial. Some people argue that discussing money openly creates unnecessary social pressure or makes others uncomfortable. What do you think? Is financial transparency among college students helpful or potentially harmful to friendships? The credit card minefield. Navigate it like a pro or get burned. College campuses are hunting grounds for credit card companies, and you're the prey. Those friendly representatives offering free t-shirts and pizza for credit card applications aren't doing you any favors. They're hoping you'll become a profitable customer who carries a balance and pays interest for years. Before you sign up for any credit card, become a research detective. Spend time online reading reviews and comparing offers. Look for cards with introductory 0% interest rates for the first year, but understand that these rates will jump dramatically after the promotional period ends. Here's the sobering reality check. Credit card interest rates typically hover around 20% or higher, while your student loans likely carry single-digit interest rates. This means that $500 textbook purchase on your credit card could end up costing you significantly more than the same amount borrowed through student loans. The golden rule? Only charge what you can pay off completely by the due date. But life happens, and if you find yourself unable to make minimum payments, here's what most students don't know. You can actually call your credit card company and negotiate. Explain your situation honestly and ask for either a reduced payment amount or a later due date. Many companies would rather work with you than deal with a default. Roommate money drama. Prevent it before it destroys friendships. Living with roommates introduces a whole new category of financial complexity that nobody prepares you for. Who pays for toilet paper? What about that expensive organic milk only one person drinks? And what happens when your roommate conveniently forgets to contribute to the grocery fund for the third week in a row? Espinal suggests creating a roommate financial agreement within the first 2 weeks of living together, during what she calls the honeymoon phase, when everyone's still being polite and accommodating. This might feel awkward or overly formal, but it's infinitely better than the alternative. Passive-aggressive notes about missing money and friendships destroyed over $20 grocery bills. Cover everything from shared groceries and cleaning supplies to utilities and any communal entertainment subscriptions. The key is addressing these issues before they become problems, not after someone's already feeling resentful about paying more than their fair share. The scholarship secret most students never learn. Here's a misconception that costs students thousands of dollars. The belief that scholarship opportunities disappear once you're enrolled in college. This couldn't be further from the truth, yet most students stop searching for scholarships after their freshman year. The reality is that scholarships specifically for current college students are abundant. You just need to invest time in finding them. Dedicate 15 to 20 minutes each week to scholarship hunting, and be as specific as possible in your search criteria. If you're a left-handed marine biology student from Ohio, search for scholarships targeting exactly that demographic. The more specific the criteria, the fewer applicants you'll compete against. Don't dismiss small-dollar scholarships either. That $500 award might seem insignificant compared to your $20,000 annual tuition, but it's enough to cover a semester's worth of textbooks or make a meaningful dent in your credit card balance. The strategy that could save you thousands, but requires discipline. Here's a piece of advice that might seem counterintuitive when you're already financially stretched. Start making payments on your student loans while you're still in school. This strategy can literally save you thousands of dollars over the life of your loans. Consider this example. You borrowed $10,000 during your first semester. After just 1 month, you've accumulated $27 in interest, bringing your total debt to $10,027. If you pay off just the interest each month until graduation, your final debt will be exactly what you originally borrowed. No compound interest snowball effect. Many students don't realize that interest starts accumulating on most student loans immediately, not after graduation. By making small interest payments throughout college, you prevent that interest from being added to your principal balance, where it would generate even more interest. The campus job controversy, pride versus practicality. If money's tight and you want to reduce your reliance on credit cards, consider getting a part-time job on or near campus. This might mean working a few hours between classes at the dining hall, library, or campus bookstore. But here's where it gets controversial. Some students feel embarrassed about working service jobs where their peers might see them. There's an unfortunate stigma around campus employment that suggests working students are somehow less successful or come from lesser backgrounds. Espinal strongly disagrees with this perspective. Generating income for yourself is never something to be ashamed of. If there's any type of stigma in your friend group, that should be a red flag. She argues that students who work during college often develop better time management skills, stronger work ethics, and more realistic expectations about post-graduation employment. The extra income can be directed toward everything from groceries and textbooks to interest payments on your student loans. Even earning $200 to $300 per month can make a significant difference in your overall financial picture. The bottom line: your financial choices today echo for decades. The financial decisions you make during college will reverberate through your 20s and beyond. Students who graduate with manageable debt, established credit histories, and basic financial literacy skills have a significant advantage in post-college life. They can take risks on lower-paying jobs they're passionate about, save for major purchases like homes, and avoid the stress that comes with overwhelming debt. Conversely, students who graduate with excessive debt often find themselves trapped in jobs they dislike simply because they need the income to service their loans. They delay major life decisions like marriage, homeownership, and starting families because their finances can't support these goals. The strategies outlined here aren't just about surviving college financially. They're about setting yourself up for the adult life you actually want to live. Now here's my challenge to you. Which of these strategies feels most uncomfortable or challenging to implement? Are you willing to have those awkward money conversations with roommates? Or does the idea of loud budgeting make you cringe? Do you think working campus jobs builds character? Or does it create unnecessary stress for students who should be focusing on academics? Share your thoughts and experiences, because when it comes to college finances, we're all learning together, and your perspective might be exactly what another struggling student needs to hear.